prison system here, and a lot of people have questions about prisons. Basic information. You may know someone who's in prison, who's about to go to prison, who may be facing time in prison. There are some common questions people ask about prisons. And I'll give you this. The concept of prison is not like you see on TV. So I'm going to answer some basic questions that a lot of people ask me about the prison system. The first one is, what's the difference between a jail and a prison? Well, a jail, you're held there for 1 year. In the state of Florida, you go to prison when you get sentenced to a year and a day. That 1 day makes a difference between you going to jail or going to a prison facility. The next most common thing is, do all jails and prison offer religious programs to inmates? And I will base my answers based off of the state of Florida. But I'm going to tell you, yes, most jails do have religious programs to the inmates. The Department of Corrections, or FDC we call it now, has what they call a faith-based incentive program that began in 1990s. After the Florida legislation found that these programs could reduce recidivism and help inmates develop new values. The first faith-based dormitory opened at Tomoka CI in Daytona Beach back in 1990, and more prisons have been added since then. As of 2019, 34 prisons were participating in an initiative with 2,600 inmates enrolled in the program. Now, faith-based is a good program. I had the opportunity to run a faith-based program. These inmates in this program, they get together and they group up like brothers. If you're in a male facility, sisters in the female facilities, they have prayer groups. Depending on what the religion is in this group, they get together and have group prayers and stuff like that. And they have rules within rules inside the prison facility to be part of this program. And you have to follow the rules of the facility to stay in this program. If you cannot follow the rules of the program, you will be removed. The next question here I have, how available are chaplains to prisons? It depends on your situation, why you need a chaplain. Do you need a chaplain because there's an emergency situation at the house? If they're there during administration hours, we can give the chaplain a call and see if you can walk over to the chapel and talk to the chaplain. If you're in closed management housing, the chaplain comes by every week. You can also request them to come and visit you in the facility. Just send a inmate request. How do prisoners typically spend their days? Prisoners, depends on what type of prison they're in and what their custody is, how they spend their day. Like I stated in another video, a lot of inmates in prison system are non-violent criminals. So they most likely live in open bay dormitory. This is what they normally do. We feed morning chow early in the morning. They could go to breakfast anywhere between 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and they'll be escorted to the chow hall where they would eat and have the breakfast. After returning to the dormitory, that's when they start their programs. Depends on what programs. They have educational programs. Some inmates have jobs. They go to work their jobs. They help clean the dormitories. There's all kinds of programs how they spend their day. Depends on the hours of the day. Like during the summer hours, they get recreation 3 times a day, depending on the weather. Now, when it gets dark earlier, they get it twice a day. Recreations twice a day, 3 times a day. Rec yard. They have handball court. They have volleyball courts. They have basketball courts. Depends on what facility you're at, what they have. The rec yard is full of stuff. Some rec yards have musical instruments. We have bands that plays. Facility I have, we have a band that plays every weekend. Have like little concerts on the rec yard. There are so many things an inmate could do. It's like a city within a city. If you're in closed management, you don't get records often. You get about 3 hours a week. You come out to cell an average an hour a day, if that. Uh, there's a lot of things they could do to spend their day. Now, lots of times, if you're in a cell all day long, lots of people studies. They do their own little rec program inside the cells. They come up with exercise programs. They have their meals in their cells. Uh, they just stay busy. And lots of times in Florida, most people that are in cells are in two-man housing. So they have someone they're talking to and communicating to, and they're working on what they got going on. What type of educational programs are available to prisoners? Florida offers a variety of education programs, including career and technical education, CTE courses, and higher educations in prison. The HEP program. We got the CTE courses. The Florida Department of Corrections offers 92 CTE courses and 37 vocational trades with technical training, employability skills, industrial recognition credits. These programs are designed to help for returning citizens to be job ready upon release. They are funded part by the Carl D. Perkins Grant and Inmate Welfare Trust Fund. So a lot of people say, why are we spending our taxpayers' money to do these programs? Believe it or not, a lot of these programs are paid by other individuals outside in the community. Like I just said, the Carl D. Perkins Grant, look it up. The Inmate Trust Fund. The Inmate Trust Fund, give you a heads up what that is. Inmate Trust Fund comes from the inmate canteen. We take a portion of the inmate profits of the canteens, and it goes back to the education programs, and it also goes back to giving the inmates things to do. I didn't know what a pickleball was. That's something new to me. I guess it's something popular these days, pickleball. We just put a pickleball court right there at the facility I'm at. Had no clue what it was until they started talking about it. And I had to go look and find out what's going on. Inmates out there playing and enjoying themselves. Florida Department of Correction also partners with state colleges, technical colleges, and community providers and expands these programs. Like I said, the HELP program. The U.S. Department of Education Second Chance Experimental Site Initiative allows Florida colleges and universities to partner with the Florida Department of Corrections and offers academy services to inmates that can lead to accredited degrees. As of April of 2024, 4 schools were participating in the HELP program. Palm Beach State College, Miami-Dade College, the Florida Gateway College, Ashland University, Florida Prison Education Project, the FPEP. This is a statewide network of programs that offer educational opportunities for the incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people. It also researches the benefits of prison educations. Now, a lot of people say, oh, we're warehousing inmates. Not really. If the inmate comes to the population and stays and follows the rules and stay in the open population, they have a lot of programs open up to them. Now, let's say they do something wrong and get calls to be in a closed management setting, which is a cell housing unit. Even in the cell housing units, we have education programs. I work in a closed management dormitory, and every day we pull inmates out and we help them get GEDs. I'm proud of the educators that works at the facility. He takes pride in his job. He helps them get GEDs. Every time he gets ready to do a GED test, he posts it on Facebook, say, hey, pray for me, pray for my students. I got 3 going to get part of their GED. I got this one fixing to finalize and get his GED. Just because people are in prison don't mean we have to hate on these people. They're trying to better their lives. Here's a question. What type of jobs do prisoners have? We got different types of prison jobs. Non-paying and paying. You know, we give gang time for inmates. If they follow and do what they need to, we give them gang time and they can get out at 85% instead of 100% of their prison sentence. There's all kinds of jobs out there. We have Pride industry that comes in there, and these inmates learns a trade and gets paid for it. Now, they don't get paid like we do out here on the streets, but they do get paid. in North Florida, we got great paying jobs, great jobs for these inmates that they learn. Of course, every tag that comes in the state of Florida comes out of Union Correctional Institution. They make tags, they stamp them. Every tag you see on the back of a card that says state of Florida comes from UCI, gets made by inmates. We also have something called a dental clinic. Now, when I say dental clinic, we're not talking about them going to a dentist. They make dentures. A lot of people in the area that has dentures were made by an inmate in this area, by Pride Industry. We also have Pride Forestry. We make lumber. We have lumber yards. There's all kinds of jobs. We also have work release. When they go to work release, if you go to different communities and you live and work close to a work release facility, you'll see restaurants in different areas have bicycles locked down on the side of them. There's a very good chance that if you eat at a restaurant that has a work release or a work area and you see these bicycles, just think about it. Could this be a work release inmate? Yeah, it could be. 9 times out of 10, you see that bicycle, especially deep in town, it's from a work released inmate. How does a prison commissary work? Depends on what your environment. If you're in open bay, we'll call your dormitory out and you come out there. You scan your ID card that has funds on it and you get your bag of chips, health and comforts. If you don't like what the state provides you, you could buy a upgraded brand of it. Commissaries in closed housing, confinement units, you fill out an order form depending on the type of confinement unit you're in. It's how much canteen you can get. You order canteen. Why is respect so important within a prison environment? Respect goes a long ways. With the inmate population, if you don't have respect among your population that you're living with, there's a good chance you're going to get your rump beat or something's going to happen to you. You need to respect your brothers or sisters in the environment that you're in as an inmate. You also need to respect the officers and the non-security people there. They're there to help you. If you respect them, they will help you out. That's why respect is so important. Respect can go a long ways. What is protective custody, PC? Does it reduce violence? Protective custody is where people goes when they have threats against them. There's people after them for some reason. Or if you're just a scared inmate, you feel like you need protection, that's where you go. Does it reduce violence to be in protective custody? Not always. Because what if you're under protective custody and the person you want to get away from wants to get in protective custody? Well, they could be there. And good thing for us, we got systems that keep us from sending you to the same institution. Does it reduce violence? To a sense, yeah. Depends on what's going on and why you're in protective. There is a little bit less violence there, but it does not necessarily reduces the violence because you're in protective custody. What are the consequences for breaking the rules? You could get a verbal reprimand. You get disciplinary action. Get sent to a confinement unit. Stay 30, 60 days. If you have gang time, we can remove that gang time. What is administrative segregation? Well, like I said, if you break the rules, you go to administrative segregation, administrative confinement. That's where you go until you have a disciplinary hearing. They'll talk to you about what you did. Did you do it? If you're guilty, it tells you what your sentence would be, how long you're going to be in this confinement unit. It could be 2 weeks, 30 days, 90 days. Depends on what you did wrong. If you did something really bad, had weapons found on you, you could get put in closed management. Closed management can last up to a year or so. Depends on what the situation is. Now, those are the basic questions. If you have more questions you would like to ask I did not answer, put comments down below. And if I get a group of these questions together, I'll make another video and explain it a little bit more. If I didn't explain something fully, put it in the comments also. I'd be glad to help you out. I normally do like training for facility stuff, but I'm willing to help people out there that wants to know more about the prison system and answering questions that make you feel more comfortable about the prison system. Like I said, it's a city within the city. And we're always thankful for not for them being there, but we're always thankful for helping them out, helping them get ready to go back into the community. Once again, if you like what I got going on, do me a favor. Smash that subscribe button. Smash it. Like it. Share it. Give me some more questions. I'll be glad to help you. And once again, thank you. And I'm closing out here. Thank you again.